Sorry about the technical difficulties. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Trucking. My name is Ellis, part owner of Pelican Logistics, and we have a really special episode coming tonight. We have a couple. I won't talk too much until we do introductions. But hailing all the way from the great state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale to be specific. And so they're going to get on and give us some information about what they do and kind of put us on some game. If you're new to the podcast, if you're new to what we're trying to do here, the episode will also be on YouTube. Make sure you go Let's Talk Trucking. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you want to see, and we'll try to bring you all the content that you guys want to hear about. You know, this is totally educational. Just kind of want to give people some insight into the trucking industry and to some of the things that we've been doing. So I'm going to try to get... Is it working now? There we go.
Hello.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for coming on. I'm excited.
Thank you for having us.
No, absolutely. You know, this is a special episode for more than one reason, really. And so, you know, given what we're trying to do, trying to educate the people on trucking and different avenues, different niches in the industry. Appreciate you guys coming on and give us some insight. So right now we have Ashley and Alan Stone of Rolling Stone Logistics, and you know, really excited to have you guys on. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to kind of do some introductions and, you know, tell us what you do, tell us about your company, and you know, kind of what space of the trucking industry that you guys are working in, and you know, we're going to go from there.
You want to go? Well, my name is Alan. This is my wife, Ashley.
Hi.
And we have a trucking car transportation company, Rolling Stone Logistics. We out of Jacksonville, Florida. And we've been doing it for the past like 3 years now. And it's been a ride. You know, we had our downs, but we still hanging in there. And it's
it's a journey.
I know it's been a roller coaster. This has been a roller coaster for us.
Yeah.
I know it has. You said you've been in business for 3 years now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've been hauling cars for about 5 years now, all together. But as far as just in, you know, running up on authority, 3 years, yes.
So what made you kind of decide to go into business for yourselves?
Honestly, I got tired of being over the road. You know, I drove for a company. I was out over the road. I was up north all the time. You know how it is when somebody telling you what lane they want you to drive in. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to do my own thing. And I really I wanted to create a brand like the bigger companies that you see out there on the road. So that's what ultimately made me decide to branch out on my own.
Okay, and so that's when you decided to go out and do your own authority?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how has it been so far running under your own authority? I know a lot of people out there, man, they kind of get intimidated when you start talking about having your own authority and having to book your own loads. And dispatch, it can be intimidating.
Honestly, we've been blessed, you know. If it wasn't for my wife, I don't really know how I would run it because she does all the behind the scene, you know, booking the loads and everything. All I pretty much do is I tell her, hey, look, this is where I'm trying to go. This is what kind of lane I'm trying to stay in. These are the kind of cars that I want to pick up, that I want to load. And, you know, she pretty much takes it from there. So it's been, you know, I enjoy it. I can't speak for her, but I enjoy every day of it, you know, waking up and like I said, I wouldn't have it any other way.
You got your teammate.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because we don't have drivers, man. We don't have drivers, and they not reliable. You know, they call in, they tear up cars. You know how it goes.
They tear up
So,
cars, tear up bridges, man, everything, man. So
yeah,
I definitely get that. So you doing all the driving yourself?
yeah. I do all the driving right now. I'm trying to get her class A, so we can run around the clock. Yeah.
I don't know yet. I'm still undecided on that.
Yeah.
I mean, so you handling a very important part of it, you know, and I can speak for myself. I'm not, I guess, very good at the administrative part.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times you need somebody that can do the administrative part and someone who can, you know, get out there and work the road. You know, luckily for us, we have 4 partners, so I don't really have to do very, very much of the administrative stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But definitely, you know, I admire you guys working as a team. You don't really see too many couples who can actually tolerate each other and go into a business and do
Yeah. Yeah, we pretty much in the truck all day, man. And to be honest with you, the success that we've had is because we've been working together. We able to tackle a lot more ground during the week. I'm pretty much strapping down while she's going to get the cars.
I'm gonna just say this: he's gotten spoiled because I go with him, and so
on every drop off or every pickup.
Yeah.
Listen, every day I go to work. You know, we have small children, so at first I couldn't really go like I wanted to because, you know, when you have like newborns and you have small children, mommy needs to be, you know, with the kids.
We got a 3-month-old here.
Yeah, so it's easier now because like our youngest, he's 11 months now. So, you know, they're all in either school or in daycare. So yeah, every morning when he gets up, I'm up, I put my boots on, I got my uniform, I go with him. I don't drive. I'm working on that. But we're like you said, we're able to cover more ground because while he's strapping and getting the truck ready, I'm out, I go get the cars, I do my inspection, take the pictures, I bring it back. By the time I bring it back, he's ready to load it, we strap, you know, we're in and out. And
are you handling all the paperwork? Are you handling all the paperwork between like dispatcher and your brokers and everything?
Yep. So I take my laptop with me. So I kind of like, I'm like a helper / HR / dispatcher / the accountant / you know, operations manager, like, you know, but
you have a small company.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah. So, at least you know to do it right when you're doing it yourself.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And you know the ins and outs of your business.
That's right.
So like for the people that aren't really familiar with the trucking industry, aren't familiar with auto haulers, and are just kind of interested in getting in, what does the average day look like for you guys from start to finish?
Well, I'm gonna say this. It pretty much is gonna differ from everybody because, you know, everybody have a certain lane that they want to run.
It depends on
what they have to do, what kind of goal they have to have met. And for us, for us, we have to drop off our kids early. So we have to get an early start. So we have to leave around like 5 o'clock. And we have to do everything that we have to do by 4.
So you're leaving the house at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Right. And for us to get back, we pretty much run locally.
Yeah.
So our day probably consists of maybe 5 to 6 loads a day that we doing. So when we going in the yard,
bad day for local.
Yeah, we knocking them down because we got, you know, make sure we get to the kids and pick the kids up on time, and you know, so it may differ. You have some guys that go out there that go over the road. You know what I'm saying?
Some
they may
people
leave.
like it.
Yeah, some people like that. I've been out on the road. I don't necessarily care for it no more.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't. It's lonely out on that road, man.
It is.
You're all by yourself. And but how long, when you really going over the road, how long were you staying out?
3 weeks at a time. So I'll go out at three weeks, and then I'll be home for 4.
4 days.
4 days.
That's
You weren't
it.
messing around, man.
Yeah, so you're talking about you coming home and you trying to spend time with the family, and then you going around town trying to see all your family members, and you cutting the grass and all that stuff, and then before you know it, it's time to go back out. You know, so I got tired of that. You know, sleeping and trying to find parking and all that crazy stuff. So yeah, man, I enjoy it. You know, well, our schedule. But like I said, like you got guys that, you know, they wake up and they may drive to Tampa and get a load, take a load down to Tampa or wherever, and, you know, bring a load back. For us, it just doesn't work like that. So we kind of have like the perfect like niche where we are right
and the
now.
fact that you can stay local, you can be, especially with young kids.
Yeah.
But see, another good thing for us is where we are. We're in Jacksonville, Florida, and Jacksonville is like a major city for auto transport. Just because we've got like 2 or 3 rail yards. So the brand new vehicles that they're coming from, what is it, like Michigan? They're coming from up north by train. They're coming down here, and they're all brand new. And you've got pretty much every make, model. They're all coming through the rail yard. And then we also have the port. So we also get a lot of brand new vehicles coming by ship. And so it's good for us because
y'all in the middle of everything.
Yeah, so we don't really have to, you know, some people, depending on where they live, they have to deadhead to a city like Jacksonville just to get a load, and then they have to try and take it to wherever they're going. So it's easier for us because we're where it's, you know, we're where it's at. So we can just pretty much say, okay, well, where do we want to go? Jacksonville.
So you guys had already done that research before you decided to get into auto hauling, right?
Kind of. No, to be honest with you, we used to, like in the beginning, we used to go out.
Yeah, we did.
Like every day. Yeah. But we would get home like 12.
Or we weren't coming home.
Or we wasn't coming home.
Yeah.
So we would have to rely on family members to go and pick up the kids. Yeah. And, you know, then that became like, you know, we were inconveniencing them. Yeah. So we had to kind of, you know, rework it. Until like it's
it took us a while. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it took a good one. I'm gonna say this: when we jumped out there, it was just one of those things where I was working full time forever. So we just kind of made the decision that we're just gonna jump out there and we're just gonna do it on our own, and we're just gonna get it however we can. And so it was one of those things like, I did the research for maybe about 2 months beforehand, but it was more so the research on how to get our authority, what kind of equipment, what, you know, how to be in compliance with FMCSA. You know, we did all that stuff. We really didn't kind of know where we were going to get our loads or how we were going to do it. We really just kind of jumped out there head first. The only thing we knew was Central Dispatch. We knew that is where we could get loads, and in the beginning, we kind of struggled.
Had a relationship with them already, huh?
Well, let me say, I had an idea of where to get loads from.
Because he was already car hauling.
I was already car hauling, and the guy who I was driving for at the time, he wouldn't really tell me anything. I used to ask a lot of questions, like, "Hey, you know."
He knew what he was trying to do. He kind of knew.
To himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we jumped out there, I started seeing a lot of these load boys, and I started recognizing these names, and I'm like, I pulled for them. They pull cars out of Orlando, or they pull out of this. So we kind of had an idea, but you know, that's the whole purpose of the Stone Logistics Group. Yeah. Because you know, when I came on, I would ask questions everywhere. I'd be at truck stops, I'm stopping. Hey man, let me ask you a question. Yeah. You know, and they won't tell you nothing.
They don't.
Not gonna tell you nothing. Are they gonna give you the bare minimum? Yeah. You know,
minimum, man.
Yeah. Right. So,
and what people don't understand, man, like this is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Right.
Yes.
You don't have to be crabs in a bucket.
Right.
And what we've kind of found with car hauling is trucking in itself is very huge, right? Car hauling is kind of like a smaller network within the trucking industry because, let's say for instance, on the road, for every 40 trucks that you see, only about 2 or 3 may be actual car haulers.
No
You know what
doubt.
I'm saying? So like in car hauling, they don't really want to tell you anything because they feel like you're taking their money. You get what I'm saying? Like you're taking away loads, or you're taking away a connection that they have that they don't necessarily, they're not willing to give up, when really there's so much out there. And even if we are pulling for the same broker, we have a different lane. Like we're not trying to go to Ohio, like we're not trying to go to the Midwest. We're not trying to go to the West Coast. We're trying to stay right here, really in Florida. So people don't, they don't really, people aren't really willing to help.
They don't look at the big picture either.
Yeah, I feel like in other areas of freight, people are more willing to help just because there's so much of it. Whereas with car hauling, it's very small, and then it depends if you're hot shot, if you're running with a dually and a wedge, or a dually and a double deck. They really don't want to tell you anything.
So like technically we are hot shot.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right.
Okay. Which is even more of a niche.
Right. So you should, the guys that drive, the company drivers.
Yeah.
You should see how they treat us in the yard, how they look at us, because they like, oh, y'all don't know what y'all doing.
Right.
Y'all hot shot. Yeah. Y'all in here, y'all taking money away from us, and really what they don't know is, I've been over the road. I can drive that same truck that you driving. I got a class. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that. But that's how they look at us. They look at us like, y'all don't know what y'all doing. Get out of here.
Man.
Right.
Know you. Yeah. So you mentioned the Stone Logistics Group. Now I know you have Rolling Stone Logistics and the Stone Logistics Group. Can you kind of give us a little bit more information about what you guys have going with those?
Okay, so Rolling Stone Logistics Group is our auto transport business that we started for the sake of car hauling. But we started in 2017. So very early on, we started getting a lot of people that were asking us like, hey, how do I do that? And I guess maybe because we were more approachable, or we seemed more like them, because it was a small Black owned husband and wife team, so it seemed like it was easily attainable. So we never really had any issues with helping people. We always had, people have always asked us like, dang bro, like how do I do that? What do I need to do to get this? I'm thinking about doing this. We always help people, but we slowly realized like there's a lot of people that really want to get into it. And there's a lot of people that don't want to tell you anything. And so we really started Stone Logistics Group because I'm going to be honest, I got tired of his car hauling buddies asking him how do they start it. And then he would call me and be like, hey, babe, so-and-so want to know, like, they're trying to get their own, authority. Like, what do they need to do? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just put all this information in a book. Right. I'm gonna give you step by step everything
so you, don't have
you need.
To keep doing it over and over.
Yeah, because like people will tell you only a little bit, and then you have to try to figure out the rest. And for us, we more so started Stone Logistics Group because we feel like if we can help other people get into car hauling without making the same mistakes that we did, we're doing a good service. It's not even really about the more so about giving people an opportunity or allowing them to make their own, like have their own business. Like I'm not going to say that it's easy to get into, but it's not like you can't do it. Exactly. You get what I'm saying? Like, but nobody wants to tell them anything. And it's just kind of like, people get out here, and it's really like, people who are like merchant seamen, they want to get off of the boat and they're looking for something else to, to have another source of income. So they look into trucking, but a lot of them don't want to go over the road. So then they see car hauling as an easy way to get into it, especially with hotshot, because a lot of them don't know that they have to have a class 8. A lot of them think that they can just get a dually pickup truck and a trailer and they can just jump out there. Well,
so
really,
you have to have a class 8 for car hauling, even if you're doing like hotshot.
I tell everybody yes.
You really, you should.
You limited the money that you can make
if you don't.
Because the minute you go through that scale house, and you overweight, they're gonna slap you with a big fine.
A big fine.
And a lot of the loads that's actually paying, that's worth picking up.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like 3 pickup trucks.
Yeah.
Or are you gonna have four SUVs?
Well, easily
you can't. Which is gonna easily put you over 26,000 pounds. Absolutely. So just to save yourself headache and getting slapped with them fines.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But back to Stone Logistics Group, man. I love what you guys are doing with that.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're really trying to be pretty much a helping hand. We're really just like anybody who's looking to get into it. If you need help, if you have any questions, if you just don't know, because like when we got started, he had the experience, and I pretty much knew I could figure everything out. But it was just certain things that you just kind of have to go through to learn from, and it's just like. It's expensive. Like insurance is not cheap. Getting your own authority is not cheap. That fuel is not cheap. So it's just like you don't have time, like you do not have you don't have the time. Like you don't even have a month to like, okay, I'm gonna figure it out next month. You don't have that.
If you go a month in the hole and just can't make no money, that'll take you out of business.
Yeah. Yep. Because once it's time to pay insurance and you don't have that $1,800 or $2,300, you don't have it, then that's it. Like you done.
When we came on, man, we was just green to the whole.
It's so green, like
to the whole.
Yeah.
But see how it started is we started with the dually with a 3-car wedge.
Yep.
And we were doing so good.
So good.
And we started seeing that money, and I was like, well, I told her. I said, I need a bigger truck.
Yeah.
I get people calling me left and right. Hey, man, can you move this? Can you move this? I was like, man, I need a bigger truck.
Yep.
And at that time, I didn't know anything about going to pick out a truck or what I needed. All I knew was I see this money that I'm making over here on this wedge. If I can triple that with a bigger truck, then I'm gonna do that. So that's what I did. I went out. I went and bought a tractor. I bought a 2006 Sterling with a Mercedes engine in it that broke me every other day. And I'm not gonna lie. Bro. Like we had to take a beat. Yeah, we had to take a beat for a minute because
that Mercedes engine ain't cheap to work on either.
No, it's not. The truck was constantly breaking down,
and we couldn't find a good, reliable driver.
It
was horrible.
On top of this is the whole purpose of Stone Logistics Group because when I bought the truck, I had to insure the truck, but I did not know that it was going to be very costly. For both of my trucks, it was $7,500 a month.
For insurance.
Just for insurance.
It went from $1,800 to $7,600. We thought it might double.
Right.
We were thinking, okay, well, it might go to like $3,500. Okay, cool.
That's just when you got your own authority, right?
No.
So when we first got started, we already had our own authority, right? And we started out with the dually and the wedge. When we first got started with just the one truck, we were paying $1,800 a month in insurance. We had Progressive. Okay. We had the million liability, what it was like $200,000 in cargo. We were paying $1,800. So we were doing really well financially, and the money was there. We had built a relationship with certain brokers, and we were like, okay, well, we've got the work. So now if we go from a 3-car wedge to a 10-car or a 9-car, okay, we can triple the money. That's what we were thinking. Like, oh, that's a no-brainer. Mind you, we didn't really know how to load it. That's another story. Like, we didn't really know how to operate it. Really, we didn't know. But we also didn't take into consideration that the insurance was going to nearly quadruple. And we had no idea, but we had already bought the truck.
Damn,
and we had to get the insurance.
Yeah, we were pretty much forced into, okay, hey, well, we gonna sink or swim.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'm gonna tell you, this is a true story. I got that truck. I hired a driver to drive it.
Yep.
Okay.
He wasn't reliable.
Oh, he was
called out every other day.
He wasn't doing pre-trips, no post-trip.
It forced me into learning my truck.
Yeah.
And I could drive it, but that particular truck, I had no idea how to load it.
Yeah.
When I started in car hauling, I started with a Mini 5. I was driving the dually, and then I progressed to a Kaufman 6. And that was the biggest that I have driven, prior to Rolling Stone Logistics. So when I bought
that on a dually?
Yeah.
Well, no, the six, the six was on the tractor, but the mini top was on the dually. So when I jumped up to the bigger truck, I didn't know how to load it, man. And I called. I remember I want to say it was like our third or fourth load with that truck. And I called a buddy of mine. I was in the port, and I said, "Hey, bro, I need you to come up here." It was in the middle of the night. It was in the middle of the night. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I knew I had to drop that load off the next day, but I called him. I said, "Hey, man, I need you to come up here and help me load the truck."
He had already been there for like 2 hours.
2 hours in the dark, you know. But you know, that was a learning lesson for us, and like I said, that's the whole purpose of Stone Logistics Group. You know
what you're getting yourself into. Like the money is there, and a lot of people see car haul and they're like, "Yeah, some good money." There's great money, but that money won't do you any good if you don't know what kind of equipment you have, how you load it.
Too high.
Your overhead is too high. Your insurance is jumping from $1,800 to $7,600. You know, like the work is there, but you have to know how to work it. You have to know how to get the money and keep it.
Right.
You know, you have to understand that the maintenance on a dually, it's not the same as the maintenance on a high rail or a mid rail, a finger, a quick loader. Like, it's just not the same. And you see people get a 9-car or a 10-car, and they're like, "Oh, okay." They're not the same. There's different types, and you just have to know what you're doing with that piece of equipment that you have. Number one, because we were booking the loads, and it was taking us literally 4 to 5 hours just to load. You know, by the time we finished loading, we would drive a little bit, but we were tired, exhausted. We run out our clock, you know, and then we would have to shut down. Yeah, and then we would have to like pick up, you know, make up for lost time. And it was just kind of, we were setting the wrong tone for the rest of the week. And so it was really like, it was beating us down. And then our dually was sitting because we were intending on putting a driver in the Sterling, and then we continued to drive the dually since we had young children.
Okay.
Yeah, but we couldn't find a reliable driver for the big truck, so it forced us into the big truck because that was the money maker. So then we put the dually down, and so to be completely honest, we just really didn't plan. We didn't really plan accordingly to what we were trying to achieve. We just saw the money that we could make and how we could triple that money immediately. And we were literally just way in over our head on that. And so it was just like the smartest decision was to go back to the dually and work that, because we had a really good thing. Like, we were with the dually, we had a lane, we had our niche, like we were good. The money was there. We kind of got greedy.
Yeah.
And
so could y'all work the dually and just go ahead and pay for the other truck while y'all were getting everything figured out?
No. We just, man, to be honest with you, we just let it go.
Yep, we had to.
We you know,
I know how it is.
We had to let it go, man, because it was gonna
run us into the ground.
It was.
Yeah. We tried to keep it. Yeah, and we even tried leasing it on to another company so that way we could take it off of our insurance.
Okay.
And you know, then you how do you go from working for yourself and being in control and having the say so to leasing your truck on with the company? It sounds like a good idea, but you're leased onto that company, so really you're at the mercy of them. So it kind of was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. Like, I don't want to go to work right now. Like, this is not what I want to do. So it was just like, that didn't really work, because it was just like, now you're working for somebody. And
that's the whole point of starting your own business.
That was right. And so, I mean, and we ultimately, you know, that was just a major blow to our ego, to like our motivation. Like, we had practically given up at that point. And we just kind of had to like realize, like, where do we go from here? How do we regroup? How do we get back focused? How do we not get in over our head? And how do we rebuild?
Right.
And that's just what we did. We stuck to what we do. We went back to the do.
Right. So that's why we always say, like, in trucking, you really don't take L's. You don't take losses. You just get learned experiences.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
It's unfortunate, but you kind of have to take those L's.
Right.
But it's costly. It's
costly. No doubt.
It's expensive, and if you can avoid it,
you're right.
Avoid it. Yeah.
So, I definitely applaud what you guys are doing with, Stone Logistics Group and kind of giving that education. Hopefully, because that's really the whole idea that we started the podcast, man, just to give information, let people know what it is and what it's not. And, just help. We're not trying to be stingy. We know it's plenty of money out there for everybody.
Yeah.
And so it'd be nice if we could maybe in the future work together on some educational stuff.
Oh yeah. That would be great. I mean, we just started Stone Logistics Group, so we're kind of in the works of trying to, I guess, solidify what it is specifically we really want to help people with. So, and we get people all the time that ask us things, but we're trying to figure out what's the best way to help people, because certain people, they're brand new and they're trying to get started and get their own authority. And then you have other people that have already gotten their own authority, but they can't really find the work that they thought that they could. And then you've got other people that they want to jump into a bigger truck. They don't know what kind of truck to get. They don't know how to load the truck. And so we're just trying to be here as, just someone to have in your back pocket, just someone to be in your corner that's not going to let you sink. You don't have to go down with the ship, And so that's really the whole goal for Stone Logistics Group. We are here, we've kind of built a great network of brokers that pay good, that pay quick, that have steady work, because a lot of people, when they come into car hauling, their first choice is Central Dispatch.
Right.
You're not in car hauling, so you might not be familiar with Central Dispatch, but anybody who's in car hauling, Central Dispatch is where you go. That's what
is it like
Central. It's pretty much,
board.
it's like a Craigslist for car hauling.
Okay.
It's a load board, kind of like, what is it, like that, or
like like the DAT.
Yeah. But the thing of it with Central Dispatch is you cannot, you don't know who it is you're dealing with.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, these are people that are either dealers, private brokers, other transport companies. They're posting loads because they need, a vehicle moved.
Okay.
The problem is that Central Dispatch is not going to back you. So if somebody doesn't pay you, that's your loss.
Yeah. And we've got
yes
a couple times. Yeah.
Yes,
So
because
no insurance on getting paid.
no, and then the thing with it is, because people they have like the brokers. You're supposed to have a bond, a $75,000 bond with the broker.
Right. The surety bond.
That really doesn't. That even still, that doesn't really guarantee that you get paid, because you have to kind of like file a claim. And then you have to show them and tell them everything. And then they're going to kind of take the broker's word for it, because obviously that's, it's like an insurance company. Like, if they can avoid paying, they will. Yeah. And so really it's a loss. And so that's the bad thing about Central Dispatch, is that you don't know, you're not in control. You pick up this load and you go and deliver it, and 9 times out of 10, you're not taking it directly to the person who's paying you.
Right.
You're taking it to the port or a dealership or to someone else, and the broker or whoever that person is, they have to pay you. Oh, I'm going to cash app you. Or I'm going to put the check in the mail. Oh, I'm going to wire it. They say COD, but you're taking it to the port. There's nobody to give you your money. You get what I'm saying? So you have to be at the mercy of these other people, and you have to hope that they have good business practices and that you're going to get paid. Nobody has time to be trying to hound somebody down for some money after you've done your work.
It's to the point now, I don't take it off my truck until I get paid.
Yep.
I know that's right.
Right, yeah. It's not coming off my truck.
Yeah.
If you didn't send payment,
it's
not coming off.
Yep. And then we're gonna charge you storage until you get your money.
Right. I'm gonna take it. Right.
Yeah. And see, when we first got started, we didn't know that. When we first got started, we jumped out there on Central Dispatch. We were picking our loads from there. And, we drove from Jacksonville. Our first load was all the way to Atlanta, right? And we were like, okay, we're gonna make this amount of money. And we realized, like, oh, well, so we gotta wait for a check. Like, oh, so you're not here? So we're not getting paid today. And, fuel costs, like hotels costs, travel meals costs. And so we didn't realize, like, it was maybe like 3 weeks in when we finally started getting invoices paid. And so you're already at a disadvantage, because you're thinking, I'm going to drop it on a Monday. I'm going to get paid by Wednesday at the latest. And that's not really how that works.
So
And
do y'all
then
use
another
factoring?
thing, oh, we tried that,
No.
but no.
Okay.
I didn't really care. I didn't really care for the factoring. I can't remember the company we were using, but I didn't really like that because, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we just prefer not to do it. And then another thing with Central Dispatch is the rates. People like new guys coming into car hauling, they are so thirsty to make the money that they will literally take
anything.
30 cents per mile. They'll take 30 cents for, yeah, they'll take 30 cents a mile for a car. And it's like, bro, like, why would you do that? But see, somebody's going to take it. Somebody's going to take that rate. And so these brokers, these dealerships, these transporters, they're going to lowball you because they know that somebody's going to take it. And then what it does is it kind of makes everybody else lower the price and like, well, I can get this for, $150.
Yeah,
Really, and so that's another bad thing with Central Dispatch. Like, it's just, I mean, it's better to have something than nothing. But in car hauling, you won't survive if you're strictly using Central Dispatch. Just to be honest, like you're not gonna make it. And so it's very like you need to either start building relationships early on, or you need to try and find brokers that are going to keep your truck loaded until you're in a position to where you have your own customers in your back pocket that you can just. They call you and say, hey, I've got this many in this city. All right, don't worry about it. I got it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I know we touched. I ain't gonna keep y'all too much long. I know I can get kind of long-winded.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this conversation. So working as a couple, I know. So I have one other. I got another partner of mine. He and his old lady work together. They out of Baton Rouge. They're running box trucks, very fast logistics. And they made it work. And I see you guys are making it work. So I know there's a lot of couples that are maybe interested in, if not even trucking, just starting a business. Yeah. And trying to build something together. So I mean, are there any tips that you guys can give out? Or just kind of let us know, because I know it's not always easy.
It's not, but like I said,
No, I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't have it any other way. And she'll tell you, I'll have like guys ride with me on the days that she can't, and I can't, I don't like it because I'm like, well,
you gotta teach.
I got to train them all over.
He's spoiled. That's all.
But I'm worried about them tearing the cars because that's gonna cost me money. She's pretty much already trained, and like while we riding, we pretty much, So
that's right. But I will say this: when you work as a couple, the good thing about us is that first of all, we've known each other for about 13 years. We've been together for 12 years. So it's different for us because we really have a great friendship. Like, and we actually started, we met actually as coworkers. We used to be lifeguards, and that's actually how we met. So we kind of met and we were friends for about a year, and then we slowly started dating. So we knew each other. And so for me, it's not really hard to work with him. And I would like to think that I'm pretty easy to get along with because we know each other so well. We know he knows how I am. I know how he is. I'm not, smothering him. We have our own space within our roles. Like I have my role within this company. He has his role. We tag team. I know what's best for our family. He knows what's best for our family. And that's really that's the goal we have 3 sons. So for us is how do we build a legacy for them to where they can take over if that's what they choose to do. You know what I'm saying? And people say, you don't mix family with business, but nobody's really going to have your back like family.
They got your best interest
because I'm going to be honest, I work for free. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I have his best interest at heart. He has my best interest at heart. And I would just say for any couple that's thinking about going into business with each other, you have to know each other first before you can actually jump out there. So, I mean, you know, you much rather work with your wife or your husband, or you want to work with somebody that you don't even know, and you don't trust them, you don't
To
know.
stab you in the back to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not hard to do.
Good. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
y'all couples hear that. You can make
Yeah.
it work.
Make it work.
Yeah.
Make it work. Yeah.
Any plans for the future as far as growing your business, or any have you guys thought about, you know, any future development?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, we're just taking it one day at a time.
No
But
doubt.
prior, like before, how we were talking about the Sterling,
Yeah.
I'm not in any rush to jump out and do that again. But I know eventually down the line, we are going to want to grow, whether it be another dually or whether it be another tractor. Like I said, we're trying to build a brand out here, just like these bigger companies.
Yeah.
You know, when we wake up in the morning, we both put on our uniforms.
Yep.
A lot of these hot shot guys that you see out, they going in dealerships with
Gym shorts.
you know,
Gym shorts,
jumpsuits and
sweats.
stuff.
Yeah,
Man, and that's not the kind of look that I want to portray for my business.
man,
Yeah.
that professionalism speaks volumes.
Right.
Yeah.
And even though it's a dually parked outside, when I walk in that dealership,
Yeah,
I want
they
them
know
to
it's
think,
business.
hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so, you know, eventually down the line, we definitely would like to grow more trucks and stuff like that. But right now,
This works.
This works.
Especially with
I don't
small
have
children.
to. I don't have to worry about a driver going out and damaging. That's my biggest thing, and I tell her all the time. If we go to a dealer and it's damage on the car, I'm looking at her. I hold her accountable because she checks the vehicle, so I'm looking at her like you know. So it's you know it's right now. I think we got a good thing, and we're gonna stick with that.
Yeah.
But I would say, you know, maybe a couple years down the line, we definitely would like to grow and, you know, maybe move on to another truck. But I'm not in any rush because I've learned from
you can't rush.
Yeah, no.
Well, man, I'll be the first to say, and on behalf of Elegant Logistics, man, congratulations.
Thank you.
Everything that y'all have built in the last 3 years, everything that you will continue to build. You know, I love to see it. I love to see it. So congratulations. This was a good interview.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I want to kick it with y'all again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I want to say one more thing, and I'm gonna stop talking.
No, go ahead. Absolutely.
So, I just want to, if there's any other hot shotters that are on this live or who are going to see this on YouTube or anything like that, I want to tell them, do not let these big trucks intimidate you. I promise you, you're probably making the same money that they're making. Or if they're company drivers, I promise you are probably making more money than them.
Making more money.
I guarantee that. And I just want to, like, in car hauling, there's not many companies that are going to take car haulers with no experience.
Right.
So the thing of it is that everybody has to start somewhere. Right. We are doing Hot Shot right now more so as a choice because it works for our personal life. But that doesn't mean that we don't have just as much experience as a person who's in a 9-car or a 10-car. Yeah. We are capable just like they are. And with hot shotters that are jumping out, there's a lot of bigger trucks. They kind of frown upon you because I will say hot shotters, a lot of them jump out there and they don't know what they're doing. And they tear up stuff and they flip their trucks and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of makes a bad name for other hot shotters. But you have to understand, in car hauling, everybody probably started on a dually. Well, I'm not going to say everybody. I'm not going to say everybody. But I will say that a lot of people did start on a smaller scale. And then they grow into where they are in the future. So I just want to say for hot shot, and I could be wrong, but I just want to say for hot shot, just keep doing what you're doing and keep seeing it through because you're making money and they're just mad because they feel like you're taking money away from them or you're making them look bad. Right. They like to say that they're real car haulers and hot shot is like play car hauling. It's just you're on a bigger scale. you know, you're on a bigger scale. Your full load is going to pay more than our full load just because you can hold more cars. But that just doesn't mean that somebody who's doing hot shot, they can't work their way from a 3-car wedge to a high rail. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can still get there. And, you know, for the hot shotters out there, keep doing your thing.
That's free game. And
Yeah.
just to kind of piggyback off of what Ashley said, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah,
If you're thinking about getting you something started, you're kind of getting into the process, you're learning the steps. Even if you've already gone through a truck and you're just starting out,
yeah,
it takes time.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. And I see a lot of and I only say that because we follow like trucking groups on Facebook. And you'll have like, you know, innocent questions where people are just like, hey, I just bought a dually, you know, I want to get in hot shot, like any suggestions or what kind of trailer should I get?
And people
it's
throw
like,
all kind of dirt at them.
yeah, and it's just like, if you're not going to give this person some advice, or if you're just not going to have anything like motivational or inspirational to tell these people,
Just shut up.
Yeah, like, and they're very discouraging. And it's like something simple as, hey, I was thinking about getting a Mini 5. Should I get it? And you got Joe from Kentucky that's just like, oh, yeah, why don't you just throw your $60,000 down the drain or light it on fire? And it's just like, bro, I didn't really ask for that. You get what I'm saying? And that's more so why I was saying that about the hot shot. Just, you know, tune it out, do your thing.
No doubt.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't let that discourage you. Those guys in those bigger trucks, man, they like I said, they, like Ashley was saying, they look at us like, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
They damage our cars, which that happened.
Yes.
They'll go and take the tie down bar and dent our cars.
Yeah.
You know, they pretty much, you know, they do everything in their will to try and, you know,
stop you from
right,
taking their money.
Right.
It's too much money out here.
It's too much. But a lot of them are like company drivers. So, you know, a lot of them are company drivers.
Okay. Well, okay. I get that.
Right.
So, Rolling Stone Logistics.
Yep.
Rolling Stone Logistics out of Jacksonville, Florida. Y'all look them up. Holler at them for your auto transport needs. Thank y'all so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
You.
Nice to meet y'all. And
We'll be back.
You'll be back. And we could have a whole episode just talking about drivers and driving attention.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Have y'all back on, and you know, y'all be safe with everything that's going on. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Appreciate it. And we're gonna stay in touch.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Nice to meet y'all.
Same here. Bye.